Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. And we are back with some new comments for you this week. We are going to cover everything from just the absurd to the people who can't mind their own business, down to why can't the cruise lines just control the weather, and even a comment about donuts. So let's jump right into today's comments. Now, first up today, yes, Carnival Cruise Lines has had a glitch in their check-in time system. A glitch that Carnival has acknowledged, a glitch that Carnival is working on and says they will have a solution for here in just a few days. Must be a pretty big issue because it's taken them over a week to get this corrected. But every time there's this type of issue, you get a comment just like this. Hey, John Heald, check in for our next cruise on Carnival Jubilee Cruise out of Galveston. Didn't open till midnight Galveston time. What the hell? We tried and tried starting at midnight Eastern time, but nothing worked till midnight and Galveston rolled around. You keep saying this is being looked at. That was 3 days ago. Time for you to step up to the plate and actually do something. I have never once in all of the cruises I've ever been on stayed up till midnight, woke up at midnight, or whatever the case may be in order to just check into my cruise. I wake up the morning that I can check in, and I go check in, and I've never, ever had an issue getting the time slot that I want. But there are people that like to be the first to check in on board the ship. Hey, that's fine. You do you. But if there's a system glitch, it's not working correctly, please explain to me how the brand ambassador for a cruise line is supposed to step up to the plate and actually do something. Is he supposed to wave his magical cruise brand ambassador magic wand and just make the problem go away? A problem that Carnival has already acknowledged that they are working on. Now, maybe it is just me, but perhaps you should take your first world problems, get a little damn patience, and don't have to write rude comments in just because you can't wait an extra hour while they are correcting the problem. Comment number 2, one we see all the time, and that is weather versus cruise lines, and the fact that people cannot understand that there are weather events, weather things that are outside of the cruise line's control. And for some reason, any time that there is a weather issue that one has nothing to do with the cruise line itself, they automatically look to the cruise line and say, what are you gonna do? Are you guys aware that the South Florida is likely to get 30 inches of rain this week? Flooding is being warned on the Weather Channel I am watching now. If we cancel our celebration cruise, will Carnival be heartless and charge us penalties? We are driving from Georgia. This is not possible on flooded roads. Is the cruise canceled? So, yes, there has been some heavy rains in the southern parts of Florida over this past week. And yes, heavy rains can cause issues with individuals getting to cruise ports. It can cause a delay in traffic. It can cause a longer travel time. And it definitely can cause some canceled flights. All of which is not in the cruise line's responsibility. But they want to know, will Carnival be heartless? Will they have no heart for this weather and charge us penalties? Oh, not those penalties. But that makes me want to ask a question. So you book a cruise. You read your cruise contract. You sign your cruise contract. You agree to your cruise contract, including any penalties that may be involved if you cancel your cruise. It's right there. You read it, or you should have read it. You signed it, ready to go. But some people, even though they sign it, even though they know it's there, even though they are aware of the penalties, will still say, but it wasn't me, and you're heartless if you charge me these penalties. Even though I'm aware of them, I agreed to them, I know they can happen, but now you're heartless because you are going to hold up your part of the contract that I signed. What is wrong with you, cruise lines? Now, I've been sitting here scratching my head about this, though, and I keep thinking that there's something out there God, what is it that you can get that if you have to cancel your cruise because of weather, it's flooded, your flight gets canceled, you can't make it to the cruise port. My God, what is that called? What is that called that you can get for your cruise that every single time is mentioned week after week, month after month, and it's an option when you book your cruise? Travel insurance. That's the word I was looking for. So we said it once, we said it twice, we will say it one more time. Hey, if you book a cruise and you don't get travel insurance and you got to cancel over weather related or something of that nature, well, you know what? You get what you get. All right, on to comment number 3 and the question. Why is it that what other people do just bothers some people so much? Just because you don't do it doesn't mean that it's wrong for this person to do it. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean they have to not like it. When can people learn to simply go on a cruise and enjoy themselves and stop worrying about every single other person on board the ship? I mean, seriously, you're on vacation. Just relax. Why do you allow people to bring food back to their rooms from the buffets? People have said that this is because they cannot get a seat on the Lido. The only time I've ever had a problem really finding a seat to eat in the buffet is at embarkation. However, many people carry food to their room and eat in the room, which is not acceptable. That means food plates are left out in the hallways. Blank Cruises banned this, and well done to them for doing so. It's just laziness. What will Carnival do with this rule? Many on our roll call have agreed that it is time to change and not allow food to be carried to the room. So what business is it of anybody else's who carries food to their room? If I am on a cruise and there is another cruise passenger carrying food down to their cabin, how does that affect me? They're not carrying it to my room. And you don't know the reason why they're taking food to their room. Maybe one of their cruise companions is not feeling well. Maybe they're taking food down there for someone who's in their cabin who just can't get up to the buffet right then and there. You don't know the reason, so you shouldn't judge. And 2, again, not your damn business. But I wonder, is this really about food being taken from the buffet down to the cabin, or is this about plates being left out in the hallway? Because 1, Carnival Cruise Lines will tell you to place the plates out in the hallway. That is because they have people whose jobs is just to go down the hallways and pick up these plates. It's not the room stewards who pick these up. There are people that pick these plates up and get them back to their appropriate location. That is what the cruise line wants you to do. So if it's about plates, saying, well, if people just will stop taking food back to the room, we won't have these plates. Except for, oh yeah, room service. Because cruise line's not going to stop providing room service. Room service still means food down in the cabin. That's still going to mean plates out in the hallway. So your rant that everybody on your roll call agrees with, don't allow them to take food to their room, still won't solve the bottom line, especially if your problem is just plates in the hallway. So perhaps mind your business, enjoy your cruise, and just stop worrying about what other people are doing that does not affect you. And finally, a little bonus comment today. Just wanted to be silly because we're going to talk about some donuts and the big question of why is there not just free donuts on board cruise ships? I know. Think about that one for a second while we look at this comment. Why no hot donuts on Carnival boats? Me and DH have one just a mile away from us. We live in Omaha, Nebraska. There is always a line around the block for the blank hot new ones. This is something should happen on one of your ships. Imagine how popular that would be if they were free. So they want free donuts on board cruise ships. Should I tell them or should you? Now, I get that the pastries on board some of the cruise ships they're not the warmest. They're not always the freshest. They're definitely not, hot off the oven or hot out of the grease, but free donuts on board cruise ships. Wow, what a unique concept. All right, and that is going to be our video this week for what every cruiser wants. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with these people? Do you disagree with these people? Are they speaking for each and every one of us? Are they teaching us how we really want to cruise? Well, if you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day, a really great weekend, and like always, we will see you out on the high seas.